Hey gang, Spada here, and today we are taking a look at Dark of the Moon Voyager class Skyhammer. I want to preface this review with, this is probably one of, if not the best figures in the Dark of the Moon line so far. This guy is a gem. I was astonished when I finally got a hold of him, just how good a figure this is. As you can see, his primary colors, gunmetal gray, white, and this weird powder blue, all really work well. He has an interesting head sculpt that I don't think we've seen before, and I can't really tell if he actually has a mouth in there or not, but it looks like a very stylized flight mask. This guy is just won me over completely. Completely won me over. His weapon is this mech-tech dual blaster thingy that when you push the button in, he gets this blade. And you're supposed to be able to twist somewhere to make the blade stay, or you're supposed to be able to twist this or move this this thing in such a way that the blade will stay out, but mine don't work like that. So, he can actually, even though he doesn't look like it, he can completely hold his weapon. Holds it perfectly, and he's not going to drop it. He can also have his weapon mounted on his arm, on either arm. Very nice. So, the mech tech weapon is pretty cool. I really, really wish there was some more paint on this thing. I think it's a cool idea. I'm just going to paint this silver. I'm just going to do that myself because I think this really needs to be painted. So we'll put it off to the side and take a look at the figure itself. The figure itself is just, I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it online. When I first saw a picture of this guy, I thought, ooh, that could be something cool. And I was right. It is something very, very cool. Poseability-wise, head is on a very small, limited ball joint. It can turn side to side, but there's a lot of kibble in the way, and he has no problem looking up at about maybe a 10-degree angle. Arms, pretty good range of motion here. The blades do get in the way a little bit, but not much. 90 degrees at the elbow. Unfortunately, the hand is on a hinge joint. But you can do cool poses like this where he's got his hand down out of the way and he's shooting his missiles at you. So that is very cool. Body is on there's a twist joint there at the hip, or at the waist, and then his hips are, I expected these to be ratchet joints, but they're just loose sliding joints. And then knees can do almost 90 degrees, and then there's some play in the shin. And then the feet, he's got a spur and a foot that, you can, let me just put it this way. You can definitely get some decent poses out of this guy. I suck at posing figures, but you could definitely get some good poses out of this guy. So, the transformation is really, really cool. I really like this transformation. We're going to start off by unpegging the blades, and that's another nice touch. The blades all peg into place. That's something that I really, really do appreciate. So once those are freed, you pull the blades forward, and that'll free up this center piece, his chest piece. And then you just kind of move it up so it's covering his face. Then we'll take these little bits that are in front of his shoulders and fold them forward. We'll come back here and take these folded up wings and fold them down and then out completely. And then this back part will unpeg. And we just want to rotate it all the way around and fold the wings completely down. There's a reason for this. We'll get into it in a second. Once we do that, we take the shoulders and rotate them forward and then just collapse them across over the head. And just getting these panels lined up covers the face really nicely. And then we get the canopy. And I like to just kind of finagle it so that the arms are out of the way. And then we can close up the canopy a little bit. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is futz with the arms somewhat. Now, this gets a little bit crazy, so we'll turn it so that the joints... I'm failing, sorry. Alright, there we go. So what we'll do is we'll actually unpeg the arms and swivel them out completely. Like that. Then fold up the fists, or hands, and then fold back the entire arm assembly underneath the vehicle. And then the little missile launcher areas will actually fold up and attach to just under the blades. Now once you do that, you can bring the parts we folded down earlier, bring them underneath those bits, and then attach them and peg them into place. So we got the entire front of the helicopter there. The next bit is rather interesting. What we'll do is we'll fold out the tail fin, which is both of the legs. So I'll do that again on this side. Fold the heel spur all the way up. Fold out the wing. Stabilizer wing like that. And then what we do is we collapse the knee and the upper leg in upon themselves. If you don't do that, it's not going to look right. So we collapse the knee and then collapse the upper leg. And that gives us the ability to actually close the tail. And we'll rotate down the landing gears just so they're out of the way. Then we'll take this whole section, collapse it into the helicopter body, rotate it up, and there are two peg holes right there. And just kind of get everything moved into place. There we have the vehicle mode. So the vehicle mode is a resemblance to the Russian Mil Mi-24 Hind helicopter. And I really think they pull it off nicely. This vehicle mode just is spectacular. It holds together wonderfully. It looks good. It works. It works. It works. The MechTech gun / sword thing can actually go underneath the cockpit. And as you can see, there is a landing gear molded into it, so that does work. Looks a little silly if you ask me, but it works-ish. I still think it looks ridiculous. Oh, did I mention that the blades free spin? I like that. I like that a lot. So it's nice to see the Autobots getting a flyer. It seems the last couple of helicopters we've gotten have been really good. Tomahawk in the Hunt for the Decepticons line. Or was it Reveal the Shield? I don't remember. He was fantastic. He was by far one of the best helicopters we've ever gotten. And then Skyhammer here is another really strong helicopter. As you can see, he does have the MechTech ports on the side. You can put his gun there, sort of. You can definitely get some of the deluxe class figures guns on the side here, or you can decide to put anything on the bottom along here and put these missile pods on the side. That works as well. And you can also put the missile pods on the figure in robot mode in the same spot. I like the missile pods where they are. Thank you very much. Like I said, this is an excellent, excellent figure. Transformation back to robot mode is just as easy. Once you do it a few times, this will become old hat. It's just a complete reversal of the process. And the reason I'm showing it is because when we get to the back here, that's where I started getting really, really screwed up. I'm really, really impressed with the way Hasbro has designed the Voyager class figures for Dark of the Moon. It seems like the Voyager class figures are And the Human Alliance basic figures are really the strong suit of the line. They really put a lot of thought into these figures, save for Optimus, the Optimus Prime Voyager class figure. I don't really care for that figure all that much. Oh yeah, we also have another reverse Gerwalk mode here. That's another thing. A lot of the Dark of the Moon figures end up with a Gerwalk mode. You'll see when we do Sentinel Prime. As I was saying, it really seems like the Voyager class has really been given a good looking at, and they really seem to be putting a lot of effort into the Voyager class figures. More so than I think that... Now, I only have one deluxe class figure so far at the time of this recording, and that's... that is Roadbuster, who I keep calling Broadside for some reason. But he's good. Roadbuster is a very good figure, but he's not in the same league as Skyhammer here. He's not in the same league as Megatron or my Shockwave, which is currently in the mail. I hope. It's really kind of weird because in the previous Revenge of the Fallen line, the deluxe class figures were what was really awesome. Okay, so getting to the point that I was talking about earlier, this part is a little tricky. These two pegs, the peg where my thumb is and this peg right here, go here. So that threw me for a little bit, but what you have to do is, as you're doing that, you have to get the arms out of the way and rotate. While you're rotating that up, fold these wings down and collapse them. So once you get it plugged in, like I just did there, you can then just collapse this whole section. And it does take a little bit of doing it a couple of times in order to get it. Once that's done, you can rotate the chest piece back into place, as long as you don't get things stuck in the way. Some of these panels get in the way, but once you figure out the transformation for yourself, it becomes a no-brainer. Push the blades in to kind of lock them in place, and fold them down and plug them in. And that was something that this is something I was really worried about when I first saw pictures of Skyhammer. I thought that the blades were just going to lay across the figure, and I thought that was going to be, that would have sucked. But it didn't. And they peg into place, and they stay out of the way, and you know what? I just love this figure. I love this figure. This is by far the strongest Revenge of the Fallen figure that I currently have. And he is by far and away my favorite so far. So go out and get him. Just go out and get him. He's worth it. He's worth every penny. He's an awesome, awesome figure. Totally deserves to be in your collection. And if you don't pick him up, I'm going to personally come over to your house and beat you up. Yep, I said it. All right, catch you guys later. Have a good one.